You're sitting in a Monday morning meeting. Your boss is yelling about a deadline that isn't your fault. Your heart is pounding, your palms are sweating, and for a split second, you think about standing up, walking out, and never coming back. But you don't do it. You sit there, you take it, and you nod. Why?
Because you have exactly $400 in your bank account and rent is due in 5 days. That is not a life. That is a hostage situation. But there is a specific number that cuts the ropes, gets you out of the chair, and puts a gun to your anxiety's head. That number is $20,000. Most people think financial freedom is about yachts and Lambos. It's not. It's about options. And the first option you unlock, the one that actually matters, happens the moment your bank account hits 20 grand. I'm not talking about buying a boat. I'm talking about the moment you stop acting like a victim of the economy and start acting like a CEO. If you're tired of the paycheck to paycheck hamster wheel and you want to know the exact mathematical and psychological point where the game changes, listen up. We're about to flip the switch.
When you are broke, you aren't just poor, you are cognitively impaired. Science calls this scarcity mindset, but I call it having your brain hijacked. When you have zero buffer, your entire mental RAM is being used to process immediate threats. How do I pay for lunch? Will my car start? Can I afford the electric bill?
This creates a dangerous tunnel vision. You can't see the big picture because you're too busy dodging bullets. You make terrible long-term decisions because you are desperate for short-term relief. You take the credit card offer with 25% interest because it solves the problem today. You stay in a dead-end job because it pays the bills today. You cannot build a skyscraper when you are busy digging a ditch just to stay dry. But here is the magic of the $20,000 threshold. Once you cross that line, the sirens stop ringing. Your brain finally has the bandwidth to stop looking down at your feet and start looking up at the horizon. You shift from survival to strategy. That shift is worth more than the cash itself. Let's talk math, but make it painful. Getting to your first $20,000 feels like trying to push a stalled car up a muddy hill in the rain. It is brutal. Let's say you can scrape together $1,000 a month. To get to $20,000 with a standard market return, you are looking at a year and a half of pure discipline. That is 19 months of saying no to vacations, no to new clothes, and no to eating out. Most people quit right here. This is where the weak get filtered out.
But watch what happens once you crest that hill. Your second $20,000, it doesn't take 19 months. It takes about 17. Why? Because your money is now working alongside you. You aren't just pushing the car. The engine has started. By the time you hit $100,000, your portfolio is generating the returns of a full-time job. Except you don't have to interview for it, you don't have a boss, and you don't pay taxes on the contributions again. The first 20K is the activation energy. It is the spark that starts the fire. Everything after that is just adding fuel. The rich don't work harder than you. They just push the car up the hill once, and now they're steering. When you have $20,000 in the bank, you possess what I call walking away money. This is where your psychology hits a fever pitch. Here's another example for you. Imagine your boss calls you into their office on a Friday afternoon and tells you they need you to work the entire weekend for free, unpaid overtime. If you are broke, you say yes. You smile, you nod, and you ruin your weekend because you are terrified of losing the income.
Now, replay that scenario with $20,000 in the bank. You look your boss in the eye and you say, no. If they fire you, fine. You have enough cash to live for months while you find a job that doesn't exploit you. That dynamic shift changes how they treat you. They can smell the desperation on a broke person, but they can also smell the confidence on someone who has a runway. You stop negotiating from your knees and start negotiating from a position of strength. You ask for the raise. You demand the better title. You take the risk on the side project.
You aren't trapped. You are free to play the game of offense instead of defense.
Here is the edgy truth nobody wants to hear. Once you have $20,000, stop budgeting your lattes. Seriously, if you are still agonizing over a $5 cup of coffee, but you have no retirement savings, you are focusing on the wrong vector. That is petty thinking. Wealth is not built by clipping coupons. It's built by making massive, intelligent moves with big numbers. When you cross the $20,000 mark, your focus shifts from micromanagement to macro dominance. You stop worrying about whether the brand name cereal is on sale, and you start looking at your rent, your car payment, and your investment fees. That is where the money is. Here is a concrete example. Moving to a slightly cheaper apartment or negotiating a $50 reduction in your rent saves you $600 a year with zero effort. That is the same as skipping a coffee every single workday, but you did it once, and it compounds forever. Use your mental energy for big kills, not small game. So, you've hit $20,000. You feel invincible. The anxiety is gone. You have walking away money. This is the most dangerous moment of your life. This is where the old you tries to sabotage the new you. You will get the urge to celebrate. You will walk into a dealership and think, I've been good. I deserve a new car. I've been working hard. I deserve a luxury vacation. Do not do it. That $20,000 is not a reward. It is your ammunition. If you buy a brand new car, you are not buying freedom. You are buying a cage. You are voluntarily putting the handcuffs back on. Let's do the math on a new success car. You finance $30,000. That car loses 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. So you paid $30,000 to immediately own $24,000 worth of metal. Meanwhile, the opportunity cost is staggering. If that $30,000 stayed invested and earned 8%, it would be over $140,000 in 20 years. You didn't grind for 19 months to watch your wealth evaporate in a dealership parking lot. Drive a beater, wear the same clothes, keep the money in the game. Your future self, the one who is actually free, will thank you. Let's break it down. 1. The kill switch. $20,000 stops the survival panic and restores your cognitive bandwidth. 2. The breakout. The first $20K is the hardest. After that, compound interest does the heavy lifting. 3. The leverage. Cash gives you the power to say no to bad bosses and bad situations. 4. The focus. Stop sweating the $5 expenses and start attacking the $500 monthly leaks. 5. The discipline. Do not trade your freedom for a depreciating asset. Keep the money working. This is not about getting rich to look cool. This is about getting rich so you don't have to ask permission to live your life. Start stacking that paper. $20,000 is the only number that matters right now. Get after it. If this video finally made you realize why you've been stuck, smash the like button so the algorithm knows we're done playing games. Subscribe if you want to learn how to stop wasting time and start building wealth.